In this tutorial, we're going to do the full hair stroke drawing with machine on latex. I hope you enjoy this tutorial and let's dive in. So first, let's start with pre-draw. I always pre-draw with a red pencil, and in this case I'm using Sharpie. This is the same pencil that I'm using on the client. The reason why I love Sharpie pencils because they are waterproof. It's a red color, which is very nice and visible on the skin, but you might have one issue with a Sharpie is it doesn't draw well on the skin, and if it's you, then it means that you haven't sharpened it well. So you have to make this tip really tiny and sharp in order to draw well. If it still doesn't draw, maybe try dipping this pencil in makeup remover. Now, as you can see, I'm proceeding to taking machine and just going over these main strokes. I later will add the depths to these strokes. Basically, the first pass, I'm just marking the lines. Now you will see after I wipe everything, there will be no color left. Very invisible, I would say, the color. The same goes when I work with a client. My first pass is very light, but then I add the depth intensity. Now also this latex is very, I would say, not forgiving, but whenever you do something and you wipe off, it's almost nothing there. So you have to do many times. With the skin, it's less forgiving. So this is the first pass. And now I'm going to spend more time inside of the eyebrow, meaning inside of the strokes. So whenever you have a stroke next to the border, you need to make it light. But whenever the strokes is inside the brow, this is where the stroke should be darker for the eyebrow to have this 3D effect. Although on video you can't really see, but I do more passes on the strokes when it's inside of the eyebrow. So I just spend more time there. Now, I'm actually adding right now another lines in between my main strokes. And then I will add additional more density to the strokes and more color. You will see how actually gradually the color will show up, although right now you can really see it, but just in a minute, just to wait there. And I also have a lot of questions. A lot of my followers ask me, I did the hair stroke, but then nothing left. So if there's nothing left, it means that your saturation was not good enough, your stretch was also not good enough, and you didn't spend enough time on a single stroke. If you are using inorganic pigments, you do need to spend more time on the stroke. If you're using organic or hybrid pigments, you just need to judge by the eye. If you see the strokes is visible and color is nice, you need to stop. You don't need to oversaturate the stroke. But with our inorganic, you do have to put more color. For now, in this case, I'm using inorganic pigments on the latex. That's why I have to put more and more passes for the color to show up and spend more time on the stroke. So if you were to do the stroke, I would also suggest to move very tiny parts throughout the whole stroke. Don't jump too fast because you want to saturate one stroke more times. Because this is a speed up video, so it seems like I'm moving pretty fast throughout the whole stroke, but if it would be in a normal speed, you would see that I quite spend a lot of time on one area before I move forward. So pretty much one area you can fill 4 times and then move tiny bit forward on the stroke, and again fill 4 times, and so on. If you work around the outline, like the pixelate strokes or the light strokes, that's where you can do 2 times or 1 time. But if you're inside of the eyebrow, that's where you want to have a darker strokes, that's where you would overlap the color, spend more 4 times overlapping the color on the stroke. Hope it makes sense. I know it might be a little bit confusing, especially when I'm doing the voiceover of the latex. If you have any suggestions how you would wish me to record the video, I would be very open to your suggestions, and also do leave your questions under this video. Or actually the best place to leave your questions is to find me on Instagram. My Instagram is beauty slash if you don't know me yet. I'm very responsive on Instagram, so I always answer my followers' DMs, questions there, and sometimes I am forgetting about YouTube. So if you do have a very good question to ask, just find me on Instagram. And then if you are somebody who is struggling with clients, I want to also share with you some interesting program that I'm recently opening. Me and my team are now helping students to scale their business. Let's say if you're already taking clients, but you still struggle with being fully booked and you are not in control of your marketing, then perhaps you can consider joining my mentorship. It's just a very recent program that I opened right now. It's actually risk-free. If you are interested, I have more information under this YouTube video. I will post a link. You can watch the video to understand what this is about. And if you're interested, you still have time to join. I'm looking for 3 more passionate ladies to join this program. So if that's you, take your chance and see it under this video. So here we are at the end of our hair stroke technique. You see that it came out really great with 3D effect. If you love this tutorial and want to check out more tutorials, useful tutorials on this topic, just go over beautyslash.com and check out the free resources. Also, if you want to enroll in the courses and you're looking for the courses to improve your skills, you will find courses information on beautyslash.com as well. And that's it for this tutorial. I will see you on my next tutorials with Beauty Slash.